What's up, guys? How are we doing today? Hope everybody's good. Let's get a few people on. I'm gonna show you guys how to really do no money down investing with the banks. I have not put any money down on any deals but when I say that, I haven't put any money down on any deals that I bought to rehab and flip or wholesale in 5-6 years. Actually longer than that, about 7-8 years. The only deal I've ever had to put money down, I can't see anything, and give me a thumbs up if you can see this. The only deal I've ever had to put money down was my beach house that I bought, because I wasn't really an investment as far as I wasn't flipping it or anything. I was buying it as a second home, a vacation home, right? But I want to tell you guys, what's up, Eddie? I want to tell you guys, and we'll wait for a few people to come on. Please like, share. I'm gonna give away some free Skillathon tickets to a few people that share, so keep sharing it. But I'm gonna show you guys how to buy properties with no money down. Okay, perfect, Melissa, you can hear me. Great, awesome. There is a way to buy, like everybody thinks you always got to put money down. You always got to put 30% down or 20% down or whatever it may be, right? I'm here to tell you there's a way to not put any money down. Zero. I do it right now. I do it with, I've got 3 or 4 banks that I deal with that I put a zero money down. And it doesn't happen overnight, right? Sounding good in Indiana. Perfect, awesome. You know, it's not something that you're just going to jump into and all of a sudden be able to put no money down. But if you learn this trick, you will be able to literally have unlimited cash flow or unlimited capital that you can use to take down deals and to flip and wholesale, right? If you want to double close the deal, maybe you're making, or maybe you want to wholesale a deal, right? It doesn't need any work. It's in a good area. You just want to buy it and throw it back on MLS and let it sit and go for the retail side where you can make 40, 50 or more. You're gonna need to know this strategy, because not everybody, if you're buying a $200,000 property, $150,000 property, I know a lot of you guys don't have 20-30% of that down payment on every deal, especially if you're doing multiple deals, right? So we got enough people on. Please like, please share, guys, and if you're gonna watch this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, which just will go on YouTube afterwards. But understand, let me tell you right now, understand that real estate investing is not easy. I'm not going to tell you it's easy. I don't sell a bill of goods. It is hard. But if you master it and you get it down to a science like I have, you can substantially increase your wealth, your money situation, your time, your freedom through the method that I teach, especially the wholesaling method, which we'll get into. All right, so Chris, what's the big secret? How do you do deals with no money down? How do you buy all these properties and not put any money down? Even on my mobile home parks, guys, I have not put any money down on any of my mobile home parks, and that's buying traditionally through the banks, small community banks, that is. And that's the first secret I want to talk to you guys about. What's up, Henry? Watching from South Texas. Awesome. The first little secret is you don't go to the big banks. You don't go to Goldman Sachs. You don't go to Chase. You don't go to Wells Fargo. You use the small local community banks and you establish a relationship with those guys. And what do I mean by establish a relationship? What you want to do is and guys, please share if you're on here. What you want to do is find out who the local lender is at your local bank, and go in there, introduce yourself, and it's really dark. Go in there, introduce yourself. Let me flip this back over. Introduce yourself and say, hey, look, I'm looking to do deals. I'm looking to start investing in real estate, right? And they're probably gonna ask you, hey, I need your financials. And obviously, guys, look, this isn't for everybody. I'm telling you this, but look, if you got a 500, 450 credit score and you rip everybody off, you don't pay any credit card bills, and you haven't paid a house note in 6 months, or your car payment in 8 months, this method is not going to work for you. You got to have good credit. So let me be upfront, honest with you guys that are watching this. You got to have good credit. You need at least a 650 or better, maybe a 680 or probably a 620 or better credit score. And your debt to income has to be the right ratio, and you have to show that you make money, guys. You can't, if you got a cash business and you're not paying taxes and you're doing all that crazy unethical shit, this ain't gonna work. So don't even try to, because everything I do is legal and ethical, guys. And if you do it the ethical and legal way, you won't have to worry about, you know, Uncle Sam chasing you. You better, you know, yeah, do I pay my fair share of taxes? Yes, but not really. Yes, but not really, because I use real estate to offset my taxes. But I don't hide a dime, guys. I deposit every penny. I don't screw the government. I pay my fair share of taxes. There's a legal way to hardly pay any taxes. But with that said, all those things have to be in alignment. Now, once you establish a relationship with the small community bank, the lending officer, you tell them what you're doing, right? You tell them that you want to start investing in real estate. With that said, the way you're going to go about not having it, let me go sit over here. The way you're going to go about not having to put any money down, right? The way you're going to go about not having to put any money down is, and somebody said it up here, equity. That's right, Micaiah, equity. Now, how when I say equity, what does that mean? That is the amount of what the property's worth versus what you get it under contract for. Now, if in my situation, right, the banks I deal with, I have such a good relationship with them. They know my reputation. I'm always bringing them deals at 40, 50, 60 cents on the dollar all day long. And for you guys that don't know what that means, if a property's worth, say, 100 grand and I'm buying it at 50 cents on the dollar, what am I buying it for? I'm buying it for 50,000. That means I captured $50,000 in equity, right? So the bank looks at all that equity that I'm bringing, and they say, wow, I mean, shit, Chris is buying properties at 50 cents on the dollar. And the bank will typically, most small community banks will do what's called 80-20. They will give you 80% loan to value, meaning if the property appraises for 100, they'll give you 80% loan to value. Now, it's not, they won't always do this up front, and they won't always do this in every case, but the way you're going to get around that is you have to educate your lender, right? You're going to have to educate the bank, the guy that you're talking to. Man, I don't know why it keeps on getting so dark in my screen. You have to educate him and tell him, look, and the only way to do this is you've got to have a professional wholesaling business. You have to know how to go direct to seller and capture all that equity for motivated sellers. You got to better go and get properties at 50, 60, 70 cents on the dollar cheaper. So what my banks do is they look at me as, hey, look, you know, Chris, I'm spending, you know, $20,000, $30,000 a month in marketing. They look at that per month. They look at that as my equity in the deal. And that's how you sell the banker, because the banker's going to have to go in front of the committee and say, hey, I got this guy, Chris Rood, he wants to buy properties. He's going to bring us some properties. He said that he's doing what's called wholesaling and going direct to seller marketing. He's going to bring us some properties at 40, 50, 60 cents on the dollar. He's spending, you know, maybe you're just getting started on, maybe you're only spending $2 grand, $3 grand, $4 grand, $5 grand a month in marketing, but he is going to bring us deals at 40, 50 cents, 60 cents on the dollar. With that said, Mr. Committee Chairman, he wants to know if he can not put any money down because he's putting up a lot of money to find these deals and he's capturing all this equity, and he said he can prove it to us by showing us properties that he's going to bring us under contract, and we're going to have them appraised, and we're going to appraise them for they're going to get appraised for way more than what he's buying them for. Now, they may tell you no. If they tell you no, you move on to another bank, but it has to be a small community bank, guys. And they may say, hey, I don't care what you got it for, Chris. I don't care if you got it for 50 cents on the dollar. We still have the 20% down rule. Like, we want 20% down on every deal. Say, hey, look, I totally understand that. But explain to the committee, Mr. Bank Loan Officer, I'm already putting 20% down. I'm spending $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month to find these deals. That's my equity. And on top of that, I'm capturing so much equity when I find these deals. So not only am I spending 5, 10, 20, 50, whatever you're spending in marketing per month to find these deals, I'm going to have a property that is going to appraise for way more. Now, once you educate them on that, they will understand that you are, man, I can't, this thing keeps on getting, let me come over here, get some more light. Y'all see me all right? Yeah, there we go. Once once they understand that, right? Once they understand that you are bringing them properties for 50 cents on the dollar, and they know how much money you spend on marketing, you'll get classified as a professional investor like I have, right? We buy 10, 15 properties a month. Not every one of them we actually buy. We'll wholesale a lot of them, but the ones we want to wholesale or flip, guys, I'll put zero money down because I'm buying these properties 50 cents on the dollar. Now, I've had to develop that relationship and show them what I'm doing, not just tell them. Show them, and look, it's kind of like dating a girl, right? You're not going to take her on the first date and bang her. Well, maybe you will. It depends. Maybe you will, right? Maybe you will take her on the first date and bang her, but that's kind of what you're trying to do with it, the bank, right? And they tell you, no, you kind of have to court them, right? You gotta soften them up, you gotta warm them up, you gotta take them out to dinner, you gotta, romanticize them, show them the value of what you can do for them. And what I mean by that is you gotta show the bank that you know what the hell you're talking about and that they can trust you. So bring them a deal that you may have to put 20% down, right? Just on the first one, just to show them. Say, look, I tell you what, Mr. Banker, I tell you what, I got this property, it's worth $200,000, I got it for $115,000. Would you meet me in the middle and let me just put 10% down if it appraises for $200,000 like I told you it would? And they'll probably agree, because the small community banking world is very flexible, guys. They're not like the big banks like Chase and Goldman Sachs and all these bigger banks. They have a standard policy. You put 30% down no matter what. And they don't want to deal with a little small-time player like you. But you can. The smaller community banks want to deal with the small-time players like you. And that's how you're going to get your feet wet. So my point to you guys is you got to have a wholesaling business. You got to learn how to go direct to seller, to where you can capture all kinds of equity and bring the deal. And let's just say you want to keep it as a rental. I don't put any money down on rentals. I don't, because I buy them so it's cheap. I bought a property 3 weeks ago. I paid $25,000 and it appraised for $75,000. What did I buy it for? What is that, 30 cents on the dollar? I mean, I captured $70,000 in equity. Now, I can't sell it for that. I already got it sold for I'm wholesaling it for 40, so I'm making a quick 15. But it appraised for, let me throw this gum out. It appraised for 75. So the way you're going to do this is you've got to massage the smaller community banks. You've got to show them, not tell them, show them, and really build rapport with them. Once you get a few deals underneath your belt, you're going to be golden. They just want to make sure that you're responsible with money. You know what the fuck you're talking about, right? There's so many jacklegs out there, snowflakes, that think they know what they're doing in real estate, and they don't. It's all about, look, it's simple. Buy low, sell high. Now, you can't go and bring a shit property that's in, like, the boondocks of southeast Louisiana, right, where there's like population 800, and the high school's got 40 kids in its junior and senior classroom, right? It's got to be a decent location. So there are some variables, but let me know if this makes sense to you guys. You have to learn how to capture equity. If you don't have money to buy deals, learn how to wholesale so you can capture equity, and you can use that as leverage to buy deals with no money down. I do it all the time. I do it every week. I do it all across the South. I've got about 4 or 5 banks I deal with, and I put a zero money down, guys. Zero. Even on bigger deals on multifamily. Get hooked up with the smaller community banks. Learn how to go direct to seller. Get the wholesaling business set up to where you're capturing tons of equity. I guarantee you bring enough deals to the right banker, they will start financing all of your deals with no money down. Now, these are some of the things I'm going to be showing you at Skillathon. Make sure you get your tickets for Skillathon 2019, December 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm going to have so many awesome players that are going to be coming to this event. But it's these little small tidbit tricks that you can learn to help you scale your business, right? A lot of people get stuck in wholesaling because they can't take down deals. Like, the only way you're going to take it to the next level is you have to better take down a deal and wholesale it if it's the right deal, or even flip it. Hell, I mean, we've got, will it be virtual? When you say will it be virtual, you're talking about Skillathon. Will Skillathon be virtual? Meaning you could watch it from a video? If that's the question, we're thinking about doing a Facebook Live on it, yeah. but I'm not 100% sure. But it's better to come in person so you can network. But if you ask me if it could be virtual for banks, yes, I have banks that I deal with virtually. Also in different states. I live in Louisiana. I'm doing deals in Alabama, Florida, Mississippi. Yeah. So anyway, guys. But the point is, I wrote a book about this called "The Source of the Deal." You have to become the source of the deal. Meaning you got to learn how to go direct to seller. When everybody talks about wholesaling, that's all it is. It's not wholesaling in a sense. All wholesaling really is a professional marketing business going direct to seller, capturing tons of equity, and you can get rich very quick if you start keeping a lot of these deals because you're going to capture so much equity. From Reston, Louisiana. What's up, Colton? Hope to see you there. Listen, December 6th, 7th, 8th, Skillathon 2019 at the Hilton in New Orleans, Louisiana. We're going to have, it's going to be a 3-day event. We have tickets as low as $500. We have ticket for super VIP. I go up as high as $3,000, where you're going to get the private access to all the speakers. A ferry ride, steamboat ferry ride on the Mississippi with all the VIP and all the speakers, and we're going to have a private mastermind the last day at a house in the French Quarter. So make sure you come. If you're interested in coming, let me know. Inbox me. If my wife's watching, have her Patty post the link to Skillathon if you can. If not, I'll come back and post the link on Skillathon. And actually, if you go to chrisrood.com, I'm sorry, if you go to chrisrood.com and you go to Skillathon 2019, the link's on there. So understand how to do this. When I first got started, I didn't learn how to wholesale first, and that's where I messed up. If you learn how to wholesale first, you can make this happen. And I'm not gonna sit there and tell you it's easy. It's work. It's like anything else. Anything that makes a lot of money is hard. But I literally captured $200,000 and $300,000 a month in equity every single month, like clockwork. And I'm scaling because why? Because I'm buying. If you're buying if you flipping 10, 15, 20 properties a month, and I'm keeping say 4 or 5 of them as rentals. Like for the instance, the property that I bought, I paid 25 grand for. It's worth 75. I just captured 50 grand in equity on one property. I got another park that I paid 210,000 for that particular park. I just finished rehabbing it. I hauled in 8 new trailers, and once it's finished being rented out, which will be in the next 30 days, that park's going to be worth about probably 850, 900,000. That park's going to appraise for. I'll be into that park for maybe 500,000. So what is that? That's $400,000 in equity that I captured that I could put on my balance sheet, right? So let's see. We got. Can you finance a home and rent it out to a tenant and build a portfolio that way if you don't have lots of capital in the beginning? Yeah, I mean, you could look. You can get a house. If I were you guys and you don't have a lot of capital and you're buying your first home, go buy like a 4-plex. Or even a 16-plex or 12-plex. Live in one part of it, get it all rented out, let it pay for itself, and then maybe refinance. You could get a traditional 30-year loan, a low-interest loan because it's your first-time home buyer. After you do that, after you get it all full and you've increased the rents, go ahead and refinance it with a commercial loan. That way you can loosen up your because everybody gets typically one or two loans that you can use to buy a home or a second home, and they're usually going to be really, really good rates. So they're usually going to be a 30-year fixed. Commercial loans with the small community banks, they're typically doing 20 years at 6%, 6.25% right now, depending on what the rates are at the time. So anyway, guys, hope that helps. Develop relationships. Best advice on how to master wholesaling. Easy, Charlie, do it. That's the only way you're gonna master is you gotta go do it. I mean, how do you ride a bike? You jump on and you ride. You get beat up, you get scratched up, you fall off. That's how you're gonna learn, right? That's right, Lewis. Trailers are high yield, man. Look, I've done a lot of different things. Mobile home parks are freaking phenomenal. I've got a mobile home park investing course I'm creating right now. I'm halfway done. I've been procrastinating for a long time. I'm finishing up. I'm finally gonna finish it up, and I'm gonna be releasing that soon. I've got a bunch of things in the work, guys. I got a personal development course I'm working on. I've got a single family home investing course, a flipping, a wholesaling. Hell, me and my wife even put in a how to stay together and stay married as an entrepreneur course. Basically a marriage couples course. So I've got a lot of stuff I'm working on that I want to help you guys with. That's helped me, right? Lewis says, trying to look for my first flip deal using nothing but a pen. Should I go solo or with a partner? What's a fair split? It won't let me see the rest of your, what's a fair split? Depends on who's doing what. My partners, we do a 60-40 split. I put up all the money, I qualify all the leads. The leads come into my office, we qualify them, and then we send out the leads to them. It's up to them to do everything else. They keep the other 40%. After I back off the marketing expense, let's just say we spend $5,000 that month and we make 50 grand in that particular market. The first 5 grand comes to me. I make, we net 45,000. Then we do a 60-40 split. After the first 5 grand comes to me, I keep 60% of 45,000. He keeps 40%. So it's whatever. You got to figure out who's doing what, right? You just be fair, right? Just don't try to screw each other. But there's a lot of different things, guys. There's so many different things. There's so many different aspects of real estate. You can make money in so many different ways. There really is. So, but we're gonna have guys come and talk about private money. We're gonna have guys talking about how to find more motivated seller leads. I've got a ton of people coming. We've got 16 high-level speakers. We got guys on marketing and branding, how to brand yourself. So if you want to come, share this stream, and I'm going to be giving out some free tickets. I'll probably give them out within a day or two to a few people that shared. So, and if you're interested in my program, guys, listen, if you want to learn how to wholesale, I'm doing this in 6 different markets. I can help you. It ain't easy. It ain't for the faint of heart. But you can make a lot of money doing it if you know what you're doing. So if you're interested, go to chrisrood.com, book a call with me. Little tidbit nuggets like this I can help you with as far as how to get set up with the banks and the community banks. You got to get your credit right first, though, guys. You get your credit right. If you don't have any credit, work on building your credit. I don't think you guys understand how important it is to have good credit. If you ain't got good credit, I mean, shit, who's got $10, $20 million sitting around to buy properties cash? Nobody. Even the big players, even the big players, the Grant Cardones of the world, they're not, they got great credit and they're still putting down, they're putting 20, 30% down. Now they're using the bigger banks and they're getting really good financing terms like 3%, 2.5%, 3.5% loans at 30-year fixed. But small time players like me and you guys that are just trying to get in, you can still make a lot of money with the small community banks. I know a lot of people doing it, but you got to get your credit right, guys, and stop hiding cash. Deposit everything, pay your taxes. I'm telling you, it's not worth, because if you're making 100 grand a year and you got a cash business, but on paper you're showing you make 22,000 a year because you hide all your cash, you're dumb. That's just stupid. No bank's gonna lend you. I don't care how much money you tell them you think you have. They want to see it on paper with the tax returns. So there are some, caveats to this. You got to be ethical. You got to do the right thing, and that's the only way to do it, guys. Otherwise, you can't scale a business. Anyway, hope this helps. Like I said, if you're interested in learning how to wholesale, flip, I'm your guy. Go to chrisrood.com, book a call with my team. I would love to help you understand that this is a business that can really give you a lot of time and freedom. A lot of time and freedom. I know I transitioned from the all change mechanic business to this business, and it freed up so much of my time, guys. So much more of my time. I've been blessed to be able to, buy real estate in 3 different states now and really scale my portfolio. I couldn't have done that working, having 4 all change shops and mechanic shops. It's just a totally different business, right? So Eric says, can't wait for Skillathon. It's going to be life-changing. Dude, Eric, 100% is going to be life-changing. Ask the people that went last year. Brandon, see you at Skillathon. You better be there, Brandon. You missed last year's, man. Brandon's one of my students. Eric's one of my students. Brandon kills it over there in Atlanta. Brandon made, I think, a couple $100 grand in like 6 months in my program or less. So this is a real business. I know Eric's on his way to doing his first deal, but you've got to commit. Listen, if you don't have the fundamentals down, I can help you with that too. If you're not committed, if you're not disciplined, if you're not persistent and consistent, right? If you don't take action, if you don't focus, these are 5 things. These are fundamental things that you need to be successful as a real estate entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur in general. To even be a sane human being, you got to have these things. The most important things are the things I just told you. Is the second one, discipline. You've got to have discipline, guys. You've got to discipline yourself. The biggest attribute I see people and really good entrepreneurs, people that are crushing the game, is they have the unique ability to make themselves do the things they don't want to do. Let me repeat myself. They have the unique ability to force themselves to do the things that they don't want to do, and that's disciplining yourself. When you can learn that skill, you can master your craft and you can master yourself, and you can do the things that other people are not willing to do, and that's where the money's at, right? So Heather says, my focus is on mobile home parks and apartments. I'm seeking the right partner. Hey, if you find a deal, Heather, hit me up. I'd partner up with you if you find the right deal. I don't know what market you're in, but I don't mind JVing with people across the United States if it's the right deal, right? So anyway, I'll see you at Skillathon. Get your tickets, share this stream. I'm gonna give away a few tickets. We're gonna have some heavy hitters, and I can't wait to meet you, shake your hand, and say, hey, I helped that person. I helped that person get their first deal. I helped that person build legacy wealth. I helped that person start making a couple $100,000 a month, or shit, even if I help you make 20 or 30 grand a month, and if you're making $5,000 a month right now at your job, shit, I did my job, right? And then I'll be a part of that. And I love helping people, and you know, it's not one of those things, oh, Chris, why do you coach if you make so much money? Listen, I coach because I want to make more money. I mean, as simple as that. So don't give me the bullshit, well, Chris, if you make so much in real estate, why do you coach? Because it's an extra income stream, and I'm helping people. So in a sense, I'm giving back, because your measly little bit of money you give me is not going to make or break me, right? I do a lot of deals. I make a lot of money in real estate. But you gotta want, the money it ain't for me, it's for you. It's for your commitment in yourself, because look, there's free information everywhere. Why isn't everybody successful? If information alone was enough, everybody'd be successful. That's why you gotta pay for a coach or mentor, because it puts you having skin in the game. It puts you having something to lose. Then what happens is it puts you into overdrive if you pay for coaching or a mentor, because if you don't pay for it, it don't mean jack shit. So, all right guys, skill up at chrisrood.com. Peace.